3 years. It's been over 3 years since I subjected myself to the one episode that shattered my belief in Saban's ability to put out a great Power Rangers season once again. I remember back in 2013 when I started these reviews being so excited for the 20th anniversary crossover and ready to share my opinions about Power Rangers Megaforce with the world. At the time, I thought it was a good series to begin reviewing since I'm a longtime fan of this franchise, and thanks to the excitement I had of being able to see all the Rangers in one spot, I mistakenly believed that Saban knew how they were going to set up the Legend War from the beginning. Even after Megaforce gave us the worst Power Rangers episode I've ever seen, it still wasn't enough to shake the idea that Super Megaforce was going to finish strong with the crossover to end all crossovers. That all changed once I saw the final product along with the quote-unquote extended cut. Honestly, this thing let me down so much that I was not about to let the same thing happen with Super Ninja Steel. So rather than look at this season as the 25th year of Power Rangers, I instead treated it as any other series, pulling no punches in my critiques. Heck, with all the craziness surrounding the brand at the moment, I doubted that Power Rangers would even have a 25th anniversary episode, but lo and behold, the trailer dropped a few weeks ago, with the special breaking the schedule and airing on Power Rangers Day, August 28th. Does this mean that this episode will be worth a watch, or is it just another shallow crossover like Legendary Battle? Let's find out as we look at episode 10, Dimensions in Danger. The episode opens with Tommy Oliver, good start, returning home where we hear he has a son, but before he can enter the house, a monstrous voice calls to him. After the intro, we cut to Summer Cove High, where the Rangers are getting ready to play a game of pool, before they're interrupted by Mick. The mechanic takes the team back to shop class, saying that an emergency message just came through, signaling the arrival of some visitors. The three figures from last time then show up, with the team asking who they are, so the three uncloak, revealing Time Force Red Wes Collins, Ranger Operator Series Silver Gemma, and Dino Charge Blue Ranger Koda. Brody only recognizes Wes, so the other two Rangers explain that they're from different dimensions, and Wes further explains that the Time Force Rangers created transportal devices for interdimensional travel. The legends go on to say that dimension jumping destabilizes the morphing grid, so they only use it for emergencies, but Rangers have been disappearing across dimensions, so the three are looking for answers. The current team offers to help, so Wes says the Rangers need to get Tommy Oliver, but he hasn't been answering his communicators, so the heroes head to Reefside. While checking out Tommy's house, the Rangers find the Green Ranger helping the villainous Lord Draven, who's the ruler of a dimension called the Antiverse and seems to be behind all this. Madame Odious then shows up, having aligned herself with Draven in exchange for giving her the Earth, with evil Tommy also revealing that he's just a robot clone. Odious uses her magic to give Draven's arrows enough power to break down the barriers between dimensions, saying that he need only fire all three arrows with time in between to cause the barriers to fall. Odious leaves, warning Draven not to disappoint her, though I'm not really sure what authority she has over an interdimensional being, with Lord Draven and evil Tommy leaving as well, so the Rangers make a plan to save the other Rangers and destroy Draven's arrows before he can use them. Figuring that the arrows and other Rangers are in the same place, the team travels to the Antiverse, and as they search for Draven's lair, we see evil Tommy hard at work setting up his master's evil plan. Draven is using the bodies of captured Rangers to amass an army of clones for his dimensional conquest, but one of the Rangers manages to escape and damage the robo-cloning computer just as the villain walks in. Though Draven is upset over this turn of events, he tells the clone that his army is big enough before getting ready to fire his first arrow, tasking evil Tommy with keeping the rest in a safe place. Back with the other Rangers, the team finds Draven's fortress, but as they head towards it, they're soon trapped by Kudabots. Luckily, an invisible figure comes out of nowhere to take care of the foot soldiers before revealing himself to be the real Tommy Oliver, who used his Dino Gem power to escape Draven's clutches. After Tommy explains Draven's evil plan, the Rangers see the Lord firing the first arrow, so the Ninja Steel crew goes to find the other arrows, while Tommy leads the rest of the team to the captured Rangers. The current team faces Draven's forces, engaging in battle with the Lord, but when he shrugs off their final attack, the Rangers use some trickery to sneak into his fortress. While that's going on, the legendary Rangers fight off some goons before freeing the captured friends, and after debriefing them on the situation, the Rangers head out to stop Draven. Before Tommy can leave though, he's stopped by his evil clone, who's more than willing to kill Dr. Oliver with his Ranger powers.
It's morphin' time! Zeo Ranger 5! Red! Your Zeo power can't defeat me! Tiger Zord! Why Ranger power? No! Take your best shot! Dragon Sword! Green Ranger power! Time to finish you!
Well, that's probably the coolest thing I've ever seen. During Tommy's epic clash, Brody and Taro once again face off against Lord Draven, and during the fight, the two accidentally stumble on the remaining arrows before making a fast exit with the rest of their team. The ninjas make their way to the rift in hopes of getting the arrows out of the Antiverse, but they're shot down by Draven's forces before they can get there. The teens end up confronted by Draven's army as the Lord sends his second arrow into the sky, but before the team can take on the army, they're joined by the other 10 legendary rangers. Once all the rangers morph into action, they start fighting off Draven's army, and let me tell you, this is what I call a legendary battle. After Draven's army falls, Odious gigantifies the Lord so he can complete his mission, with the rangers left in shock as the final arrow launches into the sky.
I have an idea. White Ranger power! Falcon Sword, power up! We get one chance at this, buddy. No! He stopped my last arrow!
This just keeps getting better and better. The other rangers then blast Draven, allowing Tommy to deliver the finishing blow with the arrow, and with the Lord defeated, the rangers celebrate their victory. After the fight, the legendary rangers congratulate the current team for carrying on the ranger legacy, and the episode ends with all the rangers returning home before Brody says this was epic. This episode is a million times better than Legendary Battle, and is everything that 20th Anniversary Special wasn't. Here, the legendary rangers all have speaking roles, and are actually shown fighting alongside the current team. In fact, watching this made me realize that the problem with the 20th Anniversary episode was that it tried to be the finale to Super Megaforce as well as a tribute episode. But because Nickelodeon wasn't willing to give the show 2 episodes for the special, the whole thing just felt like it was trying to do too much too fast. While Nick certainly hasn't changed their stance on these types of specials for Power Rangers, it was smart of the crew this time around to take a page from Forever Red and make this episode its own self-contained story. Unfortunately, the standalone nature of this episode does make it feel like it's part of a much better show starring the legendary Rangers, but hey, at least we got a glimpse here rather than watching another poorly executed Super Steel plot. In fact, the more serious tone in the writing does much more to build the current team as superheroes worthy of the Ranger mantle than the first half of this season. This episode also makes it clear that Ninja Steel takes place in the original Power Rangers continuity, meaning that the team's reactions to their powers in the first episode is a little awkward thanks to this line of dialogue.
He turned into some sort of ninja superhero. The monsters called him Power Ranger.
A Power Ranger.
Though, if I had to guess, I'd say the writers fully intended for Ninja Steel to take place in its own universe up until they decided to make this. However, even with those complaints, there's more than enough awesome in this episode to make me forget about all that crap. Personally, I've hated almost every time that Brody used his catchphrase epic, but I can think of no better word to describe the best things in this episode. You've got the epic final battle where all 15 Rangers take on Ranger robots, you've got the unexpectedly awesome return of the Falcon Zord, and that absolutely amazing fight between Tommy and his robot doppelganger. If I could throw a quick fan theory in, I think that the Master Morpher Tommy uses in that fight was made by using the power of the Ranger keys from Super Megaforce. I can just see Noah building the thing and testing out the Morpher's capabilities with Dr. O. I really hoped that we could have seen Noah to confirm this theory, but I'm happy that Gia's here instead, since it proves that Sierra Hannah's glad to be in fan projects like this, despite the fact that her character didn't get a proper focus episode in her own series. Overall, this is one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had watching this show since I started reviewing it. Everything in this episode feels like an apology and reward for fans like myself who've been watching for this long, and even though I wasn't looking forward to this, I'm immensely satisfied with how it turned out. Honestly, I would like to know who to credit for this episode just to praise them properly, but since I don't know, I'll just say this. If Saban was the crew behind this, then it's good they gave us a strong farewell, and if this was Hasbro's doing, it's a good sign for what we can expect next year. Either way, if you're a Power Rangers fan, you owe it to yourself to watch this episode, which receives the highest recommendation I can give. I'm Nick, aka IronBat1993, and I've never been prouder to say, may the power protect you.
Please subscribe for reviews of Ninja Steel, Super Ninja Steel. Also check out Dino Charge Reviews too, episode reviews. Also there's Ninjago, and I've got a Patreon. Go! Please subscribe.